Great day. We are just getting the LinkedIn gang up and running right now, going live. There we go. All right. And we are live. There we are. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. In the month of January finished off really well for you. And now we're into, gosh, hard to believe, almost the first week of February is now almost behind us. At least it's producing a typical winter, which for those winter lovers, it is really great. For those of us that are winter lovers, I'm looking forward to getting down to the sunny south, either for a weekend or a week's holiday. I just had a friend say to me, hey, look, we really want to get you down to our place in Florida. What is your timing like? And I said, you pick the day and time. I will work around it. Just don't make it any time in February right now because the month is absolutely booked and March is filling in as well. They said April, and it's like, perfect. That is the time of the year that I dislike the most. I love it from a sales perspective, but from a weather perspective, not really much going on. I can't snowmobile anymore. I can't dirt bike yet. The ground is too wet. Mountain biking is kind of sloppy and mucky too. We got to wait for everything to dry. But that's not what you came in here for today. I want to talk about the activities that lead to the sale. And more importantly, the reason why we need to do these activities. What no one ever shares with us, especially from average, ordinary automobile sales trainers, is what those activities are and why that is so important. Notice that my sales funnel, and I really hope that that shows up well. I'm just looking in the screen right there. Hopefully this helps out a little bit more. Another color marker. The activity that lead to the sale is your sales funnel. The sales funnel, the term and the metaphor has been, in my opinion, abused and not well constructed from an explanation perspective, because what's happening is what we want are deliveries. And this is the reason why the funnel is so critical in order for us to understand how it works. This long neck portion of the funnel, which is unlike most funnels, at least the funnel in your kitchen that you use to refill jars and bottles with, typically has a neck length that's about the same length as the funnel itself. The funnel for the automobile business and all that we are going through is that some customers will make this decision in minutes based on the activities that you do. Some will make the decision in hours, right? They want to see another vehicle, maybe the one that they originally thought that they would go with. And this happened to me early on in my career. I was selling an automobile which was more expensive than what the client wanted to purchase. And the sales manager recognized this. I didn't. I was inexperienced. And I was just doing exactly what the customer wanted. And I'm trying to work out payments and trying to solicit an offer which would put us in the realm of reality, and I could present that to the desk. And the sales manager fortunately caught me on it, and he said, hey, look, Billy, I want you to do this. Take your client out and show them this vehicle right here. And it was 2 trim levels down, but it was a convertible with a power top, and it was white and had a white vinyl interior in it, and it sat 4 people. It was a gorgeous car, but it wasn't anything I thought of because the client hadn't ever suggested that they would consider that particular model, let alone that particular trim level and body design. This was 2 whole model lines lower than what they were looking at. And of course, he forced me to take her out in it and present it and demonstrate it. And while we're driving down on the roadway, I noticed something really spectacular. A lot of people were looking at us. And so I said to her, just in casual conversation, no intention of having to sell and suggesting for a second that this is my clothes. I said to her, look at all the people that are looking at you driving this car, us riding around in it. And they really were. Passersby on the street, and she's looking around because I was getting the feeling while we're driving along, she wasn't sold on it. And here we are driving along. We get back to the dealership. I go, would you like to come inside and just have an idea of what this vehicle will run you on a monthly basis versus the one that you would really like to go to, where you may have to come up with some more money to put down in order to be able to get it into the range where you want to be. And she said, yeah, why not do that? So we went in, we did so, and the sales manager came up to me and said, hey, Bill, can I have the keys for that car? Someone else would like to have a look at it. And I turned to her, I said, are you sure you want me to give him the keys for somebody else to potentially take it out, present it, and drive it? And at that moment in time, she said no. That was someone who took hours to make the decision after having gone through the funnel of activities. And of course, you could get somebody that doesn't make the decision for a day or even days, couldn't you? And then, of course, there are your customers that take months in order to make the decision. The point is, if you haven't set the deal up correctly in the very beginning, if you haven't accomplished the activities that lead to the sale, then you're going to struggle miserably getting to deliveries down here at the bottom. Now, regardless of where anybody winds up through the funnel, you're going to want to always keep in mind follow-up is crucial. But let's come back to the activities that lead to the sale. Right here at the top, we have our welcome. Now, as the adage goes, you don't get a second opportunity to make a great first impression. And I'm hearing some horrible welcome presentations when being in the showroom right now, talking to dealers and sales teams about what their plan will be for 2025. We're coming up on the auto show in our city very, very shortly, which is an international level auto show. So it's a big deal. And customers are milling about and they get thinking about purchasing right now. And my friends and family, when I go to cocktail parties and social events, now this is more leading into Christmas than it is right now. Everybody seems to be battening the hatch and maybe protecting their liver or going to the gym and trying to work off the, I call it the turkey, chicken, Wagyu steak pouch, right? A lot of guys have a 5-pack. There's 4 great muscles here and then one across there. Anyhow, you don't get a second chance at a great first impression. And greeting people with, and this is, again, coming from buyers. This isn't just standing on the showroom floor and observing. I don't have enough time to be able to do that anymore. This is coming from customers who are my friends and my family saying, Bill, are salespeople so arrogant that they believe their product is so great that they don't have to, win my business over, that the price is and the availability is all that it's going to take to sell this automobile? And of course that opens up a can of worms, and I love hearing and having that conversation. My spouse does not necessarily so much. It's always car talk. But here's the thing, with a dynamite greeting such as, or let's talk about what doesn't work. Can I help you? Or what did you come in for? Or what are you looking for? Or how are you? Or isn't it a beautiful day? Crap! Those are terrible greetings. I can't tell you how many times I hear that. And all sales industries, we're not the only one that is guilty of it. But here's the thing. With a customer that comes in and greeted with, how are you? Or how's the weather? Or what have you been doing? Or what are you looking for? Doesn't really set them up, doesn't set you up for the confidence that the customer is looking for to be able to help them make the decision with the second greatest financial decision of their life. So when we change our greeting from, hi, how are you, to, what are you coming in to see and drive today? Now, that may sound aggressive to you, and especially this time of the year, because there are so few leads walking into the showroom. You think to yourself, I can't be that bold, Bill. I don't want to be that bold. I want to subtly ease into it. By not giving them what they want at the very beginning, plays part and parcel to the complaint the customers have had for eons, and that it takes too long for us to sell them an automobile. 2 to 3 hours in the automobile dealership is not what the client really wants to do. Even if you have an elaborate cafeteria and a magnificent customer lounge with a terrific PlayStation for children, it is not the first place that they think of where they want to go and spend 2, 3 hours, 4 hours of any day, be it raining, snowing, bright and sunny, hot and warm, very, very cold out. So we need to speed up our process. That is the number one complaint that we have received from consumers for well over a decade now, possibly even going on 2 decades. I've been tracking it informally. It's well over 2 decades. I'm tracking it with friends and family. I'm not tracking it with customers in the showroom. But a welcome that suggests that, are you coming in on our private sale? A welcome that suggests something along the lines of, what did you come in to see and drive? What are you coming in on our brand new product? Anything along those lines is fantastic. And we have a ton of talk tracks that we know the exact answer to before we even ask it in the manifesto. And if you want to know more about the manifesto, if you want to achieve your goals this year of selling 10, 20, and 30 vehicles per month and make a 6-figure income, I'll put a link below in the comments. Book a call with me. 15 minutes could really change your life. It's 15 minutes. How can you not book that call? We just jump on the phone. It's not a Zoom. It's not a webinar. It's 15 minutes. You pick the day. You pick the time. Just click on the link. Show up. Okay? If there's one thing you get this year and you want to do this and you want to make a better income for yourself, maybe 30 vehicles is so outlandish, it's ridiculous to you, and you're offended by the fact that I say that that is possible. Okay, so what? If you don't want to do 30 and you want to do 20, if 20 is next to impossible and you want to do 15, book a call. It takes 15 minutes. 15 minutes could change your life. It's a system. This isn't a training program. This isn't a training one day. This isn't a 10X conference. This is a system, and it will last you forever. This is just one small component of the system. When you go from your welcome to the interview or the counsel and qualifying, now this is where you can really get under a customer's skin. The interview, and the purpose of the interview isn't necessarily to get their contact information or find out if they have a trade-in or tell them what we're advertising the vehicle for. The purpose of the interview is to find out what the vehicle is going to do for them. Now, if you have watched my material in the past here in the group, and you can go back and see a whole bunch of other videos, you'll know that I have a stepped process for why they buy. And I call it biology. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's exactly what customers go through. And I know this because I've tested it on customers, friends, family, relatives, and my client portfolio of our current automobile dealership that we own. I ask them this. Did you do this step? Did you do this? Did you do this? And then did you do this? They go, that's uncanny, Bill. That's unbelievable. That's exactly what I did. How do you know that? Because I'm a consumer, like you're a consumer. And when we really sit down and we think about what we do to be able to reach maximum potential so that we can emulate it over and over again, stop doing the things that don't work, only do the things that do work. This is how you get more done in 4 hours than most do in an average day, week, month, or even a year. So from the interview, we find out what it is that they really want the vehicle to do. You know, it's a lot like buying a snowblower. If you live in the northern 48 and Canada, even in Florida, Florida got more snow a couple of weeks ago than some Canadian cities. Isn't that hilarious? If you were purchasing a snowblower, is it a yellow one, a green one, an orange one, a red one, a black one on tracks, one on wheels, one that's gas powered, one that's electric powered, one that's handheld, one that's self-driving, one that has heated hand grips, one that has a headlight or doesn't? Is that really what you want? Did you wake up that morning and decide, I really want to buy a snowblower. I want a snowblower that will look great in my garage and in my driveway. I certainly don't think so. I think like you think, and I have a Honda snowblower, and I also have a plow on the front of my ATV. I want what the plow on the front of the ATV and what the snowblower will accomplish. I want a clear driveway. I want an easy walking walkway. I don't want it to be backbreaking. I don't want to be shoveling, albeit I got to shovel the snow away from the house and off the deck and down the stairs so the snowblower can now throw it out onto the front lawn. I want what the plow in the front of my ATV will do. Not because I like plowing snow. Unquestionably, it's fun. It's way more fun than shoveling. It's far more fun than walking behind the snowblower because it just doesn't go fast enough, in my opinion. It's great to just push the snow all across the road. But I didn't wake up one morning and go, I want to buy an ATV that I put a snowplow on the front of, and then I can clear my driveway. That will be fun and enjoyable for me. First of all, I've got to wait for it to snow. And last winter, it didn't get a whole lot of use. And the winter before that, it didn't get any use at all. We had a really bad winter for snowmobiling, ice fishing, snow plowing, if that is your activity. When we find out what it is that they want to accomplish, it makes it really easy for us to deliver those hot buttons to the what is the reason for their buy. We know the why. They walked in because they want our brand. Now, I know that sounds like what? That isn't. They want our brand, or need a new vehicle, and we're the ones that they thought of first. We're top of mind. That's fantastic. But what is it it's going to accomplish? For anybody that's having a challenge with their vehicle starting this time of the year, it's reliability. That's really what I want, is to not worry about going out to that automobile first thing in the morning, covered in snow, freezing cold, and it not starting. I have no idea how I'd be able to make my 1 hour commute to my job if I didn't have the vehicle. Now, if you live close enough to be able to take public transit or walk or call a friend or Uber or a taxi, that's great. But if you've got a 1 hour commute, like so many of us do across Canada and the United States, that's just not an option for you. Asking the neighbor to drive you to work when they have to get to work too, that's not going to be a choice. Asking your mom or dad to drive you, or maybe even possibly borrow their vehicle when they've got commitments and appointments to make, that may not be a choice. So once we figured out what they want, it's easy to get their name, address, and phone number. It's easy to get their email and their SMS, their cell phone number, in other words. It's easy to find out if they got a trade-in, and it's much easier to share with them what the advertised price is and get commitment from that. Then, once we know we're on the right vehicle and what they want, now we can do a product presentation. And the product presentation is quite simply telling them everything about how wonderful it is based on what they want it to do, not everything that the vehicle has. If someone is purchasing a vehicle with auto cruise control on a Tesla, or smart cruise control on a General Motors product, or blue cruise on a Ford product, and they don't care about that, they haven't mentioned that, they haven't said anything how important that is, what they want is what their Denali or their Lariat or that Tesla product is going to do for them. They're environmentally conscious. They like plugging into the outlet inside the garage, and quite frankly, they love the acceleration an electric powered vehicle delivers for them, not to mention it's deathly quiet. That's terrific. That may be over and above the socially conscious perspective of eliminating the CO2 that comes out of the tailpipe of an automobile. On the other side of the equation, a truck owner that's looking for a Denali loves the idea of having a smart cruise control feature whereby towing their boat, snowmobile, motorcycle, ATV, RV is considerably more restful because they're not having to drive and fight the wheel and all the rest of it. So your product presentation tailors itself to the what. If again, blue cruise and smart cruise control and auto cruise control is not top of mind, it's not something they said they wanted, maybe they want towing capacity, load carrying capacity, newer, more reliable, bigger, faster, shinier, warranty. When you find out what they're looking for, then you can tailor your presentation to what they're looking at. Speed up your presentation, because that's what customers complain about. It takes too long to buy an automobile in the dealership. But you don't want to forget about the activities that lead to the sale. And so we've got to take them out on the roadway, whereby we can prove the claims that that you made about the vehicle. And a four corners around the block of the dealership is not a demonstration drive. You want to make sure that you keep them in there as long as you possibly can, highlighting all the features and using the talk tracks, such as, where will you be parking this vehicle? In your garage or leaving it outside? And they say, this one's going in the garage. Absolutely. And to that, you can add afterwards a closing statement to bring it together. You could ask them something along the lines, who's the first person that you're going to show the vehicle to when you take delivery of it? Now, that's really assumptive, isn't it? That one really hits home hard, and that assumes that you've already sold the vehicle and they're going to take delivery. But they may blurt out, my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, my husband, my spouse, whomever, my uncle, my neighbor, my coworker, my best friend. They could just blurt out, to which you can add a closing line, any one of the lines that we have in the manifesto, because we anticipate what everybody is going to say to that very question, and we load your lips with it quickly and easily. If you want to know more about it, click on the link below and book a call with me. The demonstration drive is the one that is being utilized, but it's an activity that is being it's an activity we're jumping towards in order to speed up our process. When I say speed up your sales process, I don't mean for the purpose of just getting it done and expressing through leads and customers so that you can get on to the next one. Be it an unintentional or an intentional buyer, you want to make sure you do each one of these activities and tell them what you're going to do ahead of time so that you can get their permission to be able to move to the next step. And then you can solidify that with, this is the reason that you want to go with a new vehicle. And you constantly reinforce the fact that this is the reason why you would like to have a new vehicle. Once you've accomplished each one of these steps and you've got confirmation all the way along, so everything is, yep, I really like that one. Yep, this makes sense. Yep, that is specifically what I want to go with. Then you can finalize with the purchase consult. Now, I call it purchase consultation as step number 6 in the activities that lead to the sale, because it lumps together leasing versus financing, financing versus paying cash, financing prime versus subprime in order for us just to get people. At the end of the day, we are having a consultation with them, and the consultation can include negotiation. For instance, if the client said, is that the very best that you can do? Is that the very best price? How much a discount can I get? What if I bought 2 vehicles? What if I bought 3 vehicles? What is the discount that I could get right across the board? I lump that activity right here because this is the final squeeze point where we ask them when they would like to pick it up. And that will then eventually trickle down to our deliveries down here at the bottom. But here's the thing. If you've done all these activities really well, then regardless of how long it takes them to make the decision, minutes, hours, days, or even months, they will come back to you. That is the most important part. That is the customer focus approach that separates us from all other sales trainers, training programs, training in general. Our system refines it down to, it's not me that makes all the difference, it's our system. It's our knowledge, selling the automobiles, understanding the challenges that you are going through, the struggles that you are having this time of the year. Could be that you don't have any leads at all. I can show you where you can get a ton of leads. In fact, from the 8th activity, I would suggest to you right here that you focus on this activity if you don't have any leads in your showroom right now. With your follow-up activity, you could create an Excel spreadsheet, and this would be a very rudimentary CRM because in my opinion, most of the CRM systems within the automobile business are not doing what a true CRM in the marketplace does. They don't have an auto dialer. They don't have an autoresponder with email. They don't have a sequence of emails that are constantly going out. They don't have a suggestion timeline and an integrated calendar when you should be doing all these follow-up. You can do this for yourself. It's laborious. I have one. It's in the manifesto. You can have it when you join the manifesto, and it goes across like so. And then you've got all these columns of the activities that you're doing within this activity of follow-up. So if you have 1 to 30 email, you would be checking off what you're doing with these customers all the time so that you're not sending them an email that you've already sent to them before, which would be embarrassing. Second part of the equation is the social, what you're posting on social media, and that isn't the secret. You need to be posting on a regular basis just to be top of mind. We'll talk about that in leveraging apps and technology. But more importantly, where are you direct messaging these clients so you can spear them? Not to mention phone calls. That'll be another check mark. When did you call them? Not to mention text messaging and another check mark. The point is, if you want to sell 10, 20, and 30 vehicles per month, this is what you need to do. This is what your high performers are doing every single day in the dealership all the time. This is exactly what I needed to do when I was in your shoes, when I struggled miserably for an entire month, really worried about how I was going to pay my bills. I just stopped everything else I was doing, focus on the activities that lead to the sale every single time. That's all I did. It became so routine. Quite frankly, the job and the work got boring. It was like, is this all there is? Shouldn't I be doing it a little bit differently in some way, shape, or capacity? And the reality is no. No, we shouldn't be doing it any differently. We're doing it correctly right out of the gate. But when we think, shouldn't we do it a little bit differently and get creative with the activities that lead to the sale, that's when you run into problems. That's when you create limitations for yourself. That's when shoppers say, let me think about it. This is the first place I've been to. I had no intention of buying today. There's nothing you can do or say that'll convince me to buy right now. I'm going home to sleep on it. You have to let them go because the activities were not completed. You didn't build the value bridge from what the new vehicle, that's what they're looking at. There's the new one. Here's the old one on this side. Every shopper is a buyer. They're buying something, and what you're doing is trying to take them from here to here, building that value bridge. If you didn't complete it through the activities that lead to the sale, everything that they're looking for, they're going to say, let me think about it. My name is Bill Harvey with the Auto Sales Academy on Facebook, the Auto Dealership Academy on YouTube, and here on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a fantastic year. The year's off to a great start. If it isn't, if you are struggling, if you don't feel like you're part of the team, if you are not getting the support that you desperately need and want from your dealership, from your OE, reach out to me, book a call. The struggle ends now. The technology is right here. You don't have to wait for me to come into your dealership. You don't have to wait for me on the training circus to arrive in your town and speaking on a stage like I am tomorrow, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You don't have to wait. This is the way that you want to receive it. Short segments, smaller bite-sized pieces. Get our online on demand, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on any device, smartphone, tablet, laptop, desktop, anywhere there is an internet connection. You could do this on your holidays. I'd be flattered if in fact you did. The point I'm making is you don't have to struggle. If you want to go from struggling to hitting your sales targets and objectives with ease, every single month, like predictable consistency, on your way to making a six-figure income so that you can pay your house off, put a pool in the backyard, go on a swanky vacation, create a great retirement, and an RESP for your kids. This is feasible. This is doable. This is an excellent job. What we find this time of the year, more quitters than people that are actually excelling. Yeah, I'm not talking to all of you. I'm not talking to everybody. Some of you will not want to do it. Just choose to lumber along and sell your 4 to 8 a month, and you're perfectly happy with that, and you tailor your life to be able to live on that, and I'm not beating you up for it. I'm not criticizing you in the least. But if you want to sell 10, imagine if you went from 6 to 12. How would your life be different if you doubled your income right now? Imagine if you went from 12 to 24. Would that take more work? Would you not have any time in the day? Would you have to work more and longer hours? The answer is no, no, no. I've done it. You can't work more hours. Harvard has done all the studies, how we're inefficient at a certain volume of time that we put in anyhow. And all work and no play makes for a very boring life. Let me help you help yourself get what you want. Doesn't matter where you live. This system is not region specific. It's not manufacturer specific. It's not brand specific. It works for my clients at Mercedes-Benz all the way through to clients at Mitsubishi. Everybody can benefit by the activities that lead to the sale and the one system of the 3 phases: sales intelligence, sales success, and sales performance. And each one of those steps, there's 3 steps in each one of the phases. That's all there is. 3 steps in each one of the phases. And all you simply do is watch the video and then apply the action. Attend the weekly classes, apply the action. Moments ago, the reason why I was late, my apologies. I just finished up with a class. We had to pull forward the Thursday morning class to this morning because I'm speaking on the stage tomorrow and on Friday. Anyhow, If you want to know more about the manifesto, if you really want to achieve your goals and accomplish things that you don't think are possible and make a 6-figure income, and you could be saying, Bill, there's no way, nobody in our dealership has ever done that, then book a call with me. I'll talk to you about it. I'll give you some tactics right out of the gate to show you can sell 2 to 4 this week alone. And then just imagine if you did that every single week, every single month, every single year, how much you would in fact make.